find another gear when you're going up against the Lions? 2 picks in the last 2 features against Jared Goff. Is there anything in particular that helps you find that extra gear against the Lions?
No, I mean, just the game plan. Honestly, it plays into my hands, and I just make the plays that come to me. Just watching film is just like any other week. Just rigorously, just looking at how I can attack them, how they want to attack me. So, I mean, it's been divine intervention that I get 2 picks against a home team. So honestly, just going out there preparing. There's nothing extra I do to prepare for the Lions like I don't do for any other team.
McCarthy labeled you one of the tone setters on the defense. How much pride do you take in that and being able to help set the tone for the defense?
Yeah, that means everything for me because that's what football is about. Honestly, being tough and going out there and outwilling the opponent and showing that you can impose your will on anybody. So honestly, that's what I go out there and try to do every single time I step out there.
You like getting chippy with the other team?
It's fun. Yeah.
Well, I know you got chippy on Sunday, and I remember last year against Detroit, there was some words with the Detroit receivers.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So.
Does that come back up this week?
I don't know, man. I just want to go out there and play good ball, honestly. So, I mean, if he bring the fight to me, then that's what it is. So, but I just want to go out there and prepare. Because they're a good team. You can't lose your head, go out there and, just try to make it a brawl. But they're a good team. They're really focused. And I feel like they feel like they can win it all this year. So it's definitely going to be a good challenge.
How much does that help your game, though? That's who you are.
Yeah.
That kind of amps you up and gets you to play your best?
Yeah, I just love football, man. I just love to compete, man. And whenever somebody wants to, I guess, be my, antagonist, I don't like that. So
we've gotten to see your toughness for years and years here, but does it mean something for you to sort of display that on a national stage like you did?
I've been doing this since I've been little. So, I mean, it don't matter who I play, where I play at, this is how I play ball.
You talked a lot about details. After losing to the Saints, losing to the Ravens, there's a lot of frustration. You talk about details of practice, keying in on details of games. 2 wins in a row, stopping the run. How are you seeing those details and the progression in that coming forward?
Honestly, just looking at the film and, preparing, honestly, every single day. And that's what it comes down to, preparing like it's your last game, like it's the Super Bowl. So we got to do that every single game and understand that, it's not a gimme. Nothing's a gimme in this league. You got to go out there and prepare like it's your last game.
No DeMarcus, no Micah last game. You lose Marshawn in the game. What did it mean to this group to perform like that, given those guys not being out there?
That's what we expect to do, honestly. I mean, we expect to go out there and perform like that, be on the details, and play how we're supposed to play. Tough, hard-nosed football. So that's what I feel like we're trying to get towards, and I feel like we took a good step in Pittsburgh.
But here in this first year with Zimmer, and you're dealing with those injuries, how much can you build off of that?
Anytime you do anything good like that, you can build off of it. So when you can show that you can play at a high level and win games like that without turnovers, it's definitely a good thing.
Kalen Carson, I mean, he stepped up in the absence of Deron, but then he went down with injury. Amani comes in, he steps up in the absence. Given that Deron Bland has a chance of returning against the Lions, and even if he doesn't, more so against the 49ers, what would it mean to finally have you, Trevon Diggs, and Deron Bland on the field at the same time?
It'd be good, man. It hadn't happened in a while. So, honestly, I don't think ever. So it'd be the first time since that we'll be on the field together. So, honestly, it'll be a good thing. Hopefully, we can get a win out of it. But it's definitely good to see him going out there and running and defending people at full speed. He almost had a pick today, so look good.
What are some of your memories growing up as a football fan in Detroit?
I wasn't a Detroit fan.
Who were you a fan of?
The Wolverines. I was always a Wolverine fan. I was never a Detroit fan.
Did you not?
Detroit Lions.
Was NFL not really like a thought process or a dream?
No. I mean, it was a dream, but I wasn't a Lions fan.
Why didn't you like Detroit?
Honestly, they weren't that good. But I mean, it's definitely a different tone. There they have that might be a sound bite, but they definitely are a different team. Honestly, I mean, they tough, hard nosed, and they got some really good guys that can go out there and be explosive, and they got some great talent.
Speaking of the,
Back there in high school, would you be a Detroit fan now?
Absolutely.
So you're saying you're from
That's tough.
Speaking of being tough and hard-nosed, can you just talk about how Dan Campbell is going up there and changed the culture and kind of turned it into that tough, hard-nosed team?
I mean, it's amazing for the city. I mean, that's exactly what the city is, I guess, embodies, and they play like that. And I feel like that's amazing. The way the brand of football that they're playing is, definitely embodies everything that Detroit is. So I'm happy for them that they're playing like that, but at the same time, I want to destroy it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that they're playing really good ball.
What have you seen from Jared Goff? He's coming off, quote unquote, a perfect game.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that doesn't happen?
Just seeing how he wants to attack us, seeing where he wants the ball, and just trying to stop those guys from being explosive. It's gonna be harder said, harder done to say. It's gonna be harder to do than go out there and execute it. But we got to see how he wants to attack us, and try to stop those anticipation throws. He's really good at, and he has a lot of good talent out there, running game that's really good, and a coordinator that gets them in the right spot. So it's going to be a really tough challenge to go out there and stop him, but I feel like we can do it.
If you get deep into a game and you kind of realize a guy hasn't had an incompletion, is that something that you'd ever think about wanting to break up?
No, we got to go out there and stop those guys regardless of how perfect he is, honestly. So we can't think about what he did in the past. We got to stop him in the future. We got to stop him right now. So they're really good. They have a really good scheme. They have really good players, and he's distributing the ball better than anybody in the league right now. So I feel like besides Dak, he's doing a really good job of getting those guys the ball. So we got to see how he wants to attack us and try to stop it.
What do you guys need to do? Because Mike McCarthy said, obviously, you guys have to stop this home game slide. What do you guys need to do to make sure that happens against the Rams?
Honestly, we got to go out there and stop the run because that's the engine of the offense, and we got to go make sure that Montgomery and Gibbs, we limit those guys, and it's gonna be a tough challenge because those guys are really explosive, and they do really good things in the pass game as well too. So they're all around players, so we got to stop that first, and then we got to stop those guys on the outside. It's kind of hard because those guys are potential Pro Bowlers, or one was a All Pro guy, so it's gonna be tough.
Jourdan, I know it's this game that they've similar to San Francisco in terms of the balance they have in running.
They do some really good things. They do some some motion and things like that to disguise some of their core concepts. But at the same time, they got some explosive guys. So you got to go out there and stop them regardless if they motion or not. So I mean, they got some guys that can go out there and run around and make plays. So it's going to be definitely a tough challenge.
As far as the run defense, the last two games you guys have had the lowest yards per carry allowed of any team in the league. Obviously a big switch up from what we saw with the Saints and the Ravens. What would you pinpoint for being the biggest reasons why it's been so much better?
Being detailed, honestly, and doing your job, and that's what it comes down to. Just being disciplined and understanding that you got to do it every single snap. And I feel like guys have really bought into what Coach Zim wants to do, and going out there and being disciplined in your gap and understanding that sometimes it's not going to be your play to make. Just going out there and making it, the best play for your teammates to make the play. So honestly, just buying in and understanding that it's going to be tough sledding regardless because guys want to run the ball in this.
Has the overall
I shouldn't have said that, honestly, coming out. It was an emotional game. We was going back and forth all game. And, it was some chatter on the field. But one thing led to another. He had a moment, I had a moment. And, it was too emotional. Shouldn't have said it. But, honestly, it was a good game, though. I enjoyed it, though.
Do wide receivers have to beware of you after seeing the way that you didn't back down from Pickens there at the end of the game?
I don't know what they got to do, man. But honestly, I'm gonna be ready to prepared to go out there and stop them. So honestly, whatever their mindset is, that's their mindset. I just got to go out there and do my job.
Do you feel like the overall confidence in Zim's system has really taken a leap these last couple wins?
Yeah, guys, want to be detailed, honestly. So
is that a word that he preaches?
I mean, in maybe different words, different forms, but honestly, it's the same thing. It all means the same, being disciplined, going out there playing fundamental football, and just doing your job.
Thanks, Sean.
No problem.